And this, of course, is G4 London here for the Halo Championship Series. We are kicking it off and we are fighting through the elimination side of the bracket. There's going to be Capital Punishment. We are currently on board with Shabby Dagger from that team. Now, Harry, this team, Capital Punishment, you've been watching these guys for a while. Give me a quick roundup for the people at home.
So Capital Punishment consists of Shabby Dagger, Rogue, Shady, and Warlord. And then on the other side of Endpoint, we're on board with right now Buck20, Septic, Morga, and of course Zer. And it looks like the early pressure is coming from the latter team that we mentioned. Buck20 immediately grabbing that camouflage means he can run a flag. The Slay's coming in from Zer. It's definitely going to help things out. He's lost this flag in the lights. That could be a bit of a misstep. A couple of extra Slays are going to need to come in and check out that kill feed. A couple of them coming in from Septic and Morga, and that's already 1-0.
Makes absolutely zero difference whatsoever. I think that was up to potentially 3. Finally, Warlord has put an end to the slaughter. That may have been 5 or 6 in a row, but you saw 3 bodies hit the floor, so that's going to be the entirety of Endpoint dead, apart from this man, Buck20. Now, he paused for a second, obviously using the camo to his advantage, didn't get the kill, but that doesn't matter because he's still alive. As soon as I say that, Grenade just cracks him in the face.
Yeah, the majority of the slays so far in this game have been coming in from Zer. So I want to hop onto his point of view. He's kind of the outlier along with Morga on this team. You've heard of Septic, you've heard of Buck20, you've watched the HCS and the Halo European iterations in the past, but these 2 players, Morga and Zer, will hop on board with Morga, are 2 players you might not have heard of. They've really come into prominence during Halo 5. They've made it into Pro League iterations as well, narrowly missed out on qualifying for DreamHack Atlanta. In fact, Morga was on the Vex team that made the trip over, so this guy has international experience. Morga and Zer, long-time teammates, and they're teaming up with 2 old-school veterans, but right now it looks like it's going to be Buck20 with the flag and Capital Punishment right now, under all sorts of pressure.
To get to that point of the day, we can all lose his words a little bit. We've just eaten. Also, words are very, very hard. 10 minutes remain on the clock. We're going to see another flag pull as 1 goes in for Endpoint, and they take the early lead. But 1, 2, 3 members of Capital Punishment, they're down. Make that 4. They're all put into the respawn screen, and we could be getting a return here from Zer. There you have it. The flag will be sent home. But it's Warlord who actually sends him to the death screen. Morga's going to be running this one. Camo's there as well. 3 hands up there, Harry.
Yeah, I think it's the right idea to try and burn that camouflage. Fair enough, you don't have to take the flag with you. I think if you just sprint for that camouflage, maybe you get the burn off. But that was his idea. Move the flag as well as grabbing that camo. It is going to be the Capital Punishment team that grabs that power-up on Truth. You can be very sneaky with it. We saw in the first flag capture of the game, Buck20 with that camouflage power-up was able to flank basement, really extend plays, and by the end of the first flag capture, as that kind of gunfight is lost right there, we did see Buck20 still with camouflage at the end. So you can be aggressive with it as long as you maintain your life, but right now it looks like Capital Punishment have a flag back in their own base. That's going to be Warlord with that one. And if they can get the return right here, Capital Punishment, they can put this flag in.
Yeah, that was a big kill, but they need to get this guy out of the Eli. The grenades are going in thick and fast. No hit markers are going to be found because he's going to be dropping. And now we're all tied up. 1 flag cap apiece. We'll try and bring the kill feed up in a second just to kind of show you how it's all unfolding in the back with the death. So it's a bit even Stevens by the look of things, maybe just in the lead of Endpoint, as we do see some rather big sets of kills coming out of them at any given point. But at the moment, it seems like Capital Punishment are in the driving seat. But they're not really advancing very far into the enemy side of Truth, Harry.
Yeah, seems like a lot of contesting happening in the middle of the map at the moment. Septic is trying to advance as far forward as he can, but these 2 teams actually very well matched on paper. I believe Capital Punishment actually took down Endpoint in one of the online broadcast cups. We didn't get to catch that one on stream, but Buck20 at the moment trying to advance on this pink side. So important he stays alive here on the enemy Eli and maintains this pink side control. I like the idea to try and extend his life in basement because his teammates went down, but the whole reason they're fighting over pink tower right now is because that camouflage is coming up. I believe it was Capital Punishment who grabbed that last one, so they're going to know the timing, so just watch out for that one. I believe Morga would have seen Shabby Dagger pick up the previous camouflage, so both teams really should know a timing, and the key kills coming in right now from Zer. That's going to allow him to pick up this camouflage coming up any moment.
Yeah, that's 3 deads. They're all going to push out as we see Capital Punishment coming off the respawn inside the base. Oh, that was a full of a grenade, just absolutely slams him head on. That camo, I believe, he's still up. Nope, someone has just picked up. It's going to be Morga. And of course, he does still have control of this side of the map. He's got 1 player top mid as well to back him up. That's going to be 2057. Just Buck20 putting his brother's tag in there as well. Why not? Now, one thing we keep seeing in the kill feeds, Zer, time and time again, it never seems to be just 1 kill, Harry. It's 2, 3, over and over, rinse and repeat. That's a lot of people dead. So this Shuey then moving the flag. Now they're moving it away from where they're spawning. They're spawning over on that P side. They're flushing them in. They're kind of boxing them in. I like this play. Jumps down behind one. And look at how they've transitioned. They took it below the base, moved into the area where the opposing team were spawning, and now they can just slay, slay, slay all day, baby. This should be 2-1.
And because of those slays all day, if he does get this capture in, which he does, pressure coming in there from the overextenders, it's going to be Rolk who's able to run a flag off of those 2 slays he grabbed up. But you're right, running it into basement right there is the correct play. Very well drilled there from Endpoint. They saw that capital punishment. They got some very fortunate pink side spawns. So what do? Throw the flag into the basement, extend the play a little bit longer, and Zer again with another double kill. This guy's having a really big game right here, and he needs to get this return if he can. 3 kills in a row. This would be his 4th. 2 players on the Carbine side there to try and contest him going for that return. So wouldn't be surprised to see a flag standoff very, very soon. Shady does have the flag right here for capital punishment.
One thing that's amazing me is I'm looking at this kill feed, and Septic was still alive the entire of that time. He single-handedly stayed alive. Jumped up into the attic. He had 0 shields, and that's a good 10 seconds just standing there, standing his ground, not getting any kills, but more importantly, being a nuisance, allowing the enemy team to move, his team, to move the flag all the way over to the other side of the base, keep the enemy team pinned back. Fair enough, didn't get a flag return, but when you can hold a team back and pin them into their own area, Harry, that should allow his team now to move that flag to their side.
Yeah, this is huge. They actually have Warlord underneath the Endpoint base right now. Those 2 slays are huge. Those were the 2 players for Endpoint who are really trying to be a nuisance and push for that return. And now you can see Pete right there. Morga is going absolutely ham in the capital punishment base. Tries to sneak the return and he gets it. And the flag's put in there.
I didn't see him get that one.
Morga with the 1 slay. That 1 kill was all it took.
Wow.
And they will take the game with that return. Amazing game-winning play there from Morga, but we have to praise Zer, who had a fantastic game slaying as well.
That was absolutely critical. What a key kill to grab just at the end there. They take game number 1, 3-1. That's going to be Truth CTF. Let's take a look at the kills and see if the kill board also shows how this one went down. Septic, he copped for him staying alive and being a nuisance. Zer actually not getting as many kills as what I expected. He did go negative in the long run, but
4 doubles.
4 doubles. We did see it back-to-back time and time again.
So almost every single time we saw Zer in the kill feed, he was picking up doubles. I mean, that's what was kind of drawing our eyes, but it was actually Septic, the top slayer in the game. 17 kills from him. The man took a little bit of time off of Halo, and he's, seems to be easing back into a rhythm. Warlord was up there with the 17 kills on the capital punishment side as well, but that was a very closely contested game despite what the scoreboard showed. There was the flag standoff at the end of that game. If capital punishment looked, it looked like they were going to win that standoff, they get that return, we're all tied up 2-2. So this is a very incredible individual play at the end of that game from Morga. Well played from him.
Pretty even, Steven, on the kill count. Blue team with 55, red team with 50, but the biggest difference were the power-ups. There were 3 in favor of blue team, but only 1 going to the side of red.
And that really comes from experience, right? I mean, look at the experience of the 2 teams. Capital punishment, couple of players that haven't really been to events in the past. I mean, we've seen a few of these players pop up every now and then, but compared to the experience on the Endpoint side, definitely not as much in-game tournament experience. These guys have done losers bracket runs. They've fought through the grueling series, which is what one of these series is. And this is one of those where, it's late in the day. Obviously, we had a few delays earlier on out of our control, but you still have to be playing high-level Halo at this time, and that's something that Endpoint have done for years on end.
Yeah, I like how you touched on that one. I mean, it's not even just, fair enough, there's obviously long days involved and stuff for these players. They need how to, more importantly, know how to take the pressure of the loser bracket run. I've said before, this side of the bracket breeds excellence. This will really bring out the best players, and if you can't handle the pressure of potentially going home, well, unfortunately, you are going to go home, because so many times we'll just see teams crack. We've seen it time and time again where someone will just throw a goose, throw a breadstick, just because, like, oh, God, this could be it, boys. This could be potentially the end of the road for us. Unfortunately, it will be the end of the road for one of these 2 teams. If you are just joining us, take a look now at our map rotation. We're going into game number 2. It's going to be Plaza Slayer, Eden Strongholds at game 3, Collie CTF, and Regret Team Slayer for game number 5. Capital Punishment versus Endpoint. Any little prediction how you think this one will play out, Harry?
I want to start this one off with Septic, purely because my prediction of this game is him controlling the snipe a lot. There's a couple of snipers I really like the way they snipe on this map, on this Endpoint team. Septic is one of them, Buck20 is the other, but with your Capital Punishment, the first step in that obviously is grabbing that overshield and pressuring that sniper straight away.
Look at this, he's read it like a book. One player on driveway, nails him, pushes him back, finds Warlord just jumping over on Solder, gets the first strike, takes him down. There's the second as well. Shady though in the kill feed. We will see him with a sniper rifle. That's Buck20 who does answer onto him. So I would assume that Buck20 may have a sniper rifle. You are the best POV switcher in the business.
I mean, I tried, but Buck20 was one of the players that I highlighted as being one of those snipers on this Endpoint team. Almost like a secondary sniper. You see shots like that sometimes he kind of snatches at. The good snipers in the game won't waste bullets on those because they know there is no way they are getting a kill. So Buck20 does every now and then snatch at some of those shots, but he can still hit some of the key ones as well. So in my opinion, he's going to need to. I like the way Capital Punishment is playing this right now, but this also plays into the hands of Buck20. An experienced player knows when the game slows down, they're waiting for this next overshield. That's going to be my chance to use a little bit of this overshield left to maybe scare them and get some unorthodox angles. Oh, just about misses that plasma pistol shot right there.
Question then. Because he had the OS, Harry, do you think it would have been a better option for maybe him to drop the sniper and give it to Septic because we know what he can do with it?
I mean, potentially, but he did use a lot of his overshield in taking down Shady, who did have this sniper in the first place. So, I mean, yes and no. He could have dropped it off to Septic maybe. Maybe could have pushed the pace a little bit more, but even though his overshield is gone, that's going to naturally decay away anyway. So I don't mind him maintaining this sniper control, and it's a very close game. It's slowed down as we predicted, but it's going to be Capital Punishment. The guys on that side that are going to need to push out, so I actually want to swap over to their side. Big push for them coming up. They're all trapped in yard right now. I'll flick through the POVs. You can see Rolk right here, Shabby Dagger's just below that kind of nest jump right there. Shady's over here in Tram, and then you have Warlord. He's over here in Tram as well. They need to formulate a push out at some point. They need to grab this next overshield. Right now, Endpoint have a vice grip on the map, and they're going to need to push out, grab some slates, ready for this next overshield.
Stick with Warlord and the team on Capital Punishment. Take a look around. Shady will drop bottom mid, finds one. Easy kill for him. Gets the BR and says, hello, Zone. See you later. But this next OS, it's going to be critical, and it will be Buck20 who ends his life. That is burnt with the sniper. 2 bullets left in the chamber, and it's a great kill.
It's a great kill, yes, but look at the score now. They're only down by 1. Sniper coming up in 30, and the roles are completely reversed now. It's going to be Endpoint that are trapped in the Tram, and now look, Rolk is going to get that kill on Buck20, and look, he's going to pass that sniper over to Zur. Look at this push coming in, a complete contrast. They know the sniper's coming up in 30 seconds, but they also know they have Endpoint trapped here in Tram with not a lot of snipe ammo left. So look at this aggression. They have to make sure they're getting these kills right here if you're Capital Punishment. And it looks like they are doing just that as we're all tied up right now.
And here comes the pinch. I'm quite surprised everyone's sticking down in this area. Push out, boys. Move up. And you know what? Because it has slowed down, I want to hear what the communication's like rather than me and Harry trying to explain what's going on. Let's take a listen to Endpoint's communication and break this one down.
Hotel. I'm crouching you, man, lads.
Step on me, watch out.
I locked him, shoot alert on a weak, on a weak.
Bleed truck.
I got him, I got one. We can. Hide him. Shabby weak.
Sniping S2.
I killed 2, watch the Shabby. I killed 2. Nice. This guy, spotting us one. 2 guys on his build. He's still a still. Yeah.
3 guys S.
Just get one. What time is camo?
AB's pretty, it's like 40.
Tommy push blue with me, 47.
I'm here. He's in blue.
Oral's in blue.
Back down. They're nading.
Yeah, I'm watching bottom of gas.
Sniper's not S2. One in blue window.
I'm gonna get 47.
Yeah, 47. It's gotta be 47, boys.
You wanna try and get bombage, bro? Snapping at Nesto.
He's still here, P.
Left side, I'm sorry. Push blue, fucking... He's on our mark.
Yeah,
I'm pushing blue.
Blue now.
What's up now?
Let's give it, it's fine. It's gonna PP. Don't die for it,
Trade it.
It's fine,
I got PP.
Then go over.
I'm on top of I'm pushing you.
What's the glass?
Where's the glass though?
Where's he going?
Ella sleep, baby. We got
Sniper S2.
We're still timing against still, boys.
Lay ramp, boys.
One flying.
Lay ramp down.
Blue ramp still.
We're sure playing together, boys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go yard. Yeah, I'm gonna go yard.
I'm here, Pete. We've got bleed up. Blue might see me. Watch out.
Just don't move like they did, man.
I've got that.
Jab the snipe.
Sniping blue on the little telephone thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No lamp, yeah.
Yeah. Two.
Might be in blue then.
Probably is.
Yeah, Mark is in blue. No, I don't think there's many people at Nest.
Can you watch my soda?
Oh, they're watching.
There's a guy on the post. He was there before, boys. He's on LR. I bet he's on LR somewhere.
Look at it's Shabby.
One test two, one test two, roll. That's not a sniper.
Made it loud just in case.
Do we have the name of the sniper?
Shady.
Okay. Just play for this next over.
One in blue door.
It's in a minute, it's fine.
There's a guy in blue.
And the one in Nest, one in Nest.
Yeah, he's blue still.
Nest, the city says, you're shot.
Shabby's in blue, so.
They're gonna keep rotating sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't peek. One of them should be like sniping.
So a super slow game here, and I think this is going to be the telltale story until somebody manages to really open up with that sniper rifle and crack this egg, because at the moment they're all sitting pretty over on gold. But you don't want to kind of sleep on your laurels, Harry, because as soon as they move into that and really start to force them out, this is where they could expand that lead, because they do have this lead now, but if they apply so much pressure, it could just escalate rather quickly.
Yeah, I'm actually going to swap over to the Endpoint side right here. Very key point in the game coming up. That 6-minute mark dropping right now, which means new snipe. That means two snipes in the hands of Capital Punishment. It's actually Shady who stacked the snipe. The second part of the 6-minute mark, why it is such a big factor in the game, the overshield coming up very soon. Right now it's Capital Punishment with a big amount of control on the map. That first kill is huge from Morga. He really should have hit that snipe. And watch out for the flood out now from Endpoint. This is going to be a coordinated push, and there's the overshield. That's absolutely huge from Zer. Now he can press this sniper player.
Little bit. He did miss that initial shot. I hate to say the word choke, but you should be landing that. It was a straight lineup, just missed by a couple of millimeters. Rather unfortunate. And now that will hand not only the OS, but the sniper rifle over to the hands of Endpoint. Buck 20. He needs to find some faces. They've only got a 1-kill lead here. Still very fragile, but this time round, what did we say previously, Harry?
Yeah, Buck 20, that secondary sniper, the main man you want with this weapon, it's going to be Septic, and I like the idea. I really appreciate that. Buck 20 really wasn't hitting all that much earlier on in Plaza. The experience coming into play saying, hey, you know what, you're the better sniper, man. You take it off my hands and start pinging faces. Hate to see Shady missing those shots, but at the same time, it's a high-pressure game. There is a lot on the line, and your team is leading. You know a big push is coming for that overshield. Endpoint capitalized so well on it, and now it's Endpoint's turn to try and get a real big lead in this game, because they have a perfect opportunity to. They have a big snipe in the hands of Septic, their main sniper, so he really needs to start using this weapon to great effect. If he can stay alive right here, it would be huge, but Warlord will take him down.
Yes, a little bit unfortunate that he was caught off guard there. They did collapse heavily on him, and it was a big important kill that they needed to get, which they successfully did. Now they've eliminated him and taken the sniper rifle back 2-kill lead here. And look at them, they're just going to rush all over, grab that power weapon. But I tell you what, Endpoint, they're coming off gold rather quickly and pretty nastily. This will be a big kill. He's going to try and chase it. 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets, no scopes. Not one of them will find its target, but he's got 2 of his teammates backing him up, so they come in to support. Take down one's another player here, hiding behind the post. Back and forth we go. When's the person going to find the kill? Come on. Thankfully, Warlord again saved the day. 2 players. Rook also finding another one. Rook was taken down by Zer in the kill feed. Quick scope. Shady's finally woken up.
It's much better. And the play from Endpoint was not good enough to collapse on that man. And as a reward for Capital Punishment's discipline in keeping Shady alive with this snipe, they now have Warlord, one of the most experienced players on this team, with not only the overshield, but the main counter to the overshield in the plasma pistol as well. So this is where you can really see Capital Punishment extend this 7-point lead.
Don't like how we stood near that barrel.
Scary, isn't it?
It is. Come on. Played enough matchmaking by now, Warlord. You should understand that if that thing is blown up, you are going off the map. Hard scoping in. 1 player around that corner. Here comes steamboating round. Unfortunately, going to find a face full of lead. Goes for the no scope. Goes for the second one. Will tag him up, but some great shots there coming out of Morga. Will seal the deal. So now, sniper rifle. Will they be kind of rough enough to get out here and extend for that one, which they do? And that's the player that I would needed them to be careful of, as well as this one here. There's someone over at S4. There's Shabby over here by posted. Catches 1. Goes for the barrel.
Not only that, the player he sniped was Endpoint sniper. It was Morga who had that weapon, and now both snipes, I believe, have actually transitioned into the hands of Capital Punishment. So not only do you have Shabby right here with a snipe, you also have Shady posted up with that as well. So now this is going to be a near impossible task for Endpoint to get back in this game. 2 snipers to try and push out against, and you have to push out because you're down by a big amount. They don't have that much time left. This has been a long game here on Plaza. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. They need to start speeding this game up, and here it comes.
Oh, that was a really unorthodox push. No one kind of had that flank covered. They were all, you know, posted up above him. He just came flying through bottom mid, around the garbage truck, did take one down, scraped a couple of kills back, but as you mentioned, Harry, they've got less than 2 minutes and a lot of kills to pick up here. It was 8, it's down to 5, so it's certainly doable. I mean, look at the bullets in the chamber here.
Yeah, bullets in the chamber. Not only that, Buck20 has a sniper of his own. You see in the kill feed, he's taking down Warlord. They still need to speed this game up. They are down by 4, so even if you win a team fight cleanly 4-0, I mean, you're still only tied up. Plasma Pistol coming around the corner, Morgan will stay alive, but time is running out. Time is a massive factor. I like the way they sped it up, but that overshield is going to be a key for them to start speeding this game up right now.
Here we go then, SWAT team. You need to breach and frag. Come on, boys. Push, push, push. Otherwise, this is going to be a problem. The OS is going to do no work whatsoever when it's down in bottom mid. They brought this back to 3. They were 8 just a minute ago. Make that 2. Morgan's got himself a double. Now it's a 2-kill lead. They have 70 seconds to win this game. 5 bullets in the chamber here for Morgan. He's got to find some faces. There's one. Make that a 1-kill game. His teammates are pinching. They're collapsing down. They've now taken the lead. Look at that. They were down by 8, Harry. Now they are only down by 1.
Yeah, only down by 1, but they did have the lead. 50 seconds left in the game. Morgan has to take over this game. They are all tied up. Don't forget, Slayer rules. If we're not at 50, and the time runs down and we are tied, we go to an extra 3 minutes in this Slayer game. So that's a real possibility in this game. Whether both teams might try and play for that, they might just have a stalemate situation. Morgan has an opportunity to win this game, but his entire team is completely posted up in yard. And look at how this game has slowed down.
Anyone else have a sniper? I'm looking across all the POVs and I don't seem to see
It's
one.
just Morgan.
There's only one in play, right? I'm going to do a T2 now.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. Looks like we're going to that 3 minutes of added time.
We're just going to watch as much as you guys are at home because it could escalate quickly. Sometimes off a standoff, this is what we'll see. One person will make the push. The team will say, right, it's time to execute this, boys. And all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3 kills just light in the kill feed.
Very important note, it was Endpoint who have a very, very good coach and also grabbed the last overshield. Overtime is kind of different because the overshield starts spawning on different minutes if you pick it up late. So very important you have a coach timing that, and it's Morgan already moving into position with this sniper to grab that power up. He's not going to go for it straight away. He has 1 bullet to go, but he's going to take his time on this one. He knows how important this overshield is, and in fact, it's going to be a teammate who grabs it. It's going to be Septic from Endpoint to grab the overshield. So first play of overtime is a successful one for Endpoint. They grab the overshield, and now the ball is in their court.
The aggression, well and truly in the hands of Endpoint here, but he needs to be careful because the OS is getting melted. One player up on S4 needs to be careful of that barrel. Doesn't matter whatsoever, he will fall. 2 minutes remaining once again, all drawn up, 41 each. We're still in overtime. Remember, it's not first kill wins, it's whoever's got the most when the time runs down. It's all about watching that clock now. Grenade goes down, we'll see no hit markers. He's going to push out. It's the best player to do because you do not want to get pinned there. Morgan's calling for help though, down on White. He's going to fall. Falls into the trap though, bait and switch, 1, 2. 3 members drop. It's all tied up once again. It's body for body, back and forth, trade for trade. This is so passive.
Yeah, this is very passive. I actually want to stick on the POV of Shady, probably one of the least experienced players. This is a kind of a foreign landscape for him. This is one of his first events ever, and this is one of the most high-pressure situations to go into. They're up by 3 now, 1 minute 15 left on the clock. That key would have been used to grab, but Septic, experience versus inexperience, will grab that kill. And Rolf is choking now as well. Look at this, just a 1-point game, 1 minute to go.
You didn't see him. That's insane. It was an easy kill. He just dropped down and looked the wrong way. He's still toe-to-toe, 50 seconds. 3 kills now for capital punishment, 4 for Endpoint. Grenades are going in. We'll see if we can find any hit markers, trying to get some information there. Nothing will be found, but you can see on Morgan's screen his nameplate is flashing yellow, so he's in trouble. Shady does need to be careful of those barrels if he makes his way up light. Also finds one though, misses the green gun.
Run away.
Some support, but it's not going to be good enough. He will fall. 29 seconds remaining, 1 kill game. Endpoint taking the lead here, all drawn up once again. And now we've got OS.
Overshield.
It's in play. Will be anyone have the bigger balls to play for it, though, because it's going to be an instant death. One falls down into the open. I've no idea where that body's gone. They've actually taken it. He's 49 to 48. Who's going to get it? It's going to be capital punishment. Seals the deal. And Rulk stamps his name on game number 2. They claim victory, and I believe the end score, I think it was 48 to 50?
48 to 50.
Ooh.
And the inexperienced team wins it in overtime on a Slayer. I mean, that's unheard of. Shady, by the way, massive game from him. As well as Morgan. Morgan had a great game. I'll tell you who didn't have a great game, though. Zur.
Wait until we bring up this kill feed. Unfortunately, Zur, we have to put him on blast here because that is an appalling stat line.
It's not good enough. Definitely
5 and 17.
5 and 17. We'll take a look at the quick, at the entire scoreboard very soon. But yeah, that was a resounding performance. That was one capital punishment definitely needed to win. You feel like if they lose that game and go 2-0 down in the series after losing a Slayer in overtime, again, it's a very experienced competition. You really struggle to see how they're going to get themselves back in the series. So that was a very, very well executed game from them. And they keep themselves alive in this series and force a game number 4 at least.
I'm just continue to look through some of these stats. I mean, it's a little bit scary. We didn't get to bring them up in time, but when we looked at it, it was 22 kills, I believe, coming out of Morgan. So certainly a big, big driving force there on his team. But rolling into game number 3, well, at least we've guaranteed definitely at game number 4. We do have a very close series on our hands. I just hope it's not as pussyfooting and kind of passive as the rest of the entirety of that match, because it was very, very slow indeed.
Just say pussyfooting.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right, just wanted to make sure.
You ever heard that word before?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay. You're
Right,
just clarifying.
22 kills from Morgan, though. That's a really big game from him, but he really expects his teammates to step up. I mean, 2 of his teammates in that game had single-digit kills. Zur with just the 5. He went 5 and 17, by the way. Negative 12 in the Slayer. Big no-no. You can't do that. And then Septic, he went even 9 and 9, but you expect Septic to pick up more than 9 kills on that game type, especially when he's got players like Buck20, who went 12 and 12. You know, when he's dropping snipes for you, you expect bigger stats and a bigger return than just a 0 spread.
I mean, it was still, I were expecting a little, even just a little bit more damage done. Obviously, we were looking at some statistics. You guys can't see it at home, so apologize for that, but we're just trying to kind of bring a bigger picture to this one. 1,448. Maybe you could potentially have had a few more tags on certain players, but still under 2K, and the rest of his team were above. On the opposing side, every single player above 2.2K damage done. So,
just quickly before we move on from that game, Zur, the only player to have a negative spread, and it was a big one. It was a negative 12 in that overtime Slayer game.
Wow. Okay.
It's not good enough, by the way. Double negative?
Yeah.
No, it's not good.
We always talk about how it's... Yeah.
That's football.
I got 20...
Game of 2 halves. Slayer works as well.
I suppose. I got 20 kills, but I got 30 deaths.
Yeah, that's not good.
Exactly. Yeah. Game of 2 halves. You got to watch the kills, you got to watch the deaths. Anyway, enough talking absolute rubbish.
2 stat lines, but whatever.
Strongholds on Edom, game number 3. First team to score 100 points will be your victor, or once the clock has run down, whoever has the most points will also claim victory. Couple of power-ups in play here, Harry. What you fancying?
Well, blue team very much at a disadvantage when grabbing that first power-up. It's going to be Overshield and Camouflage, by the way, going into the hands of the red team, which is going to be Capital Punishment, which, by the way, they are the last 2 players alive. So I'm going to swap over to Warlord right here, who has these rockets and this Overshield to play with as well. A very formidable force on the map. You expect Warlord to take over this map once he finally captures Blue Bend for his team. He really needs to start putting this extra shields, which are now all gone, and this rocket launcher into play. Get slays with this weapon. This is the key weapon on this map that wins you strongholds with those slays that come from this weapon.
I mean, okay, he had OS, and now he's dead.
That's not good enough.
It's not good enough at all, but he was also, you could tell what he was doing, Harry. He was looking for a player to take Blue Bend away from him so he could move on, so he could do some damage. Nobody was there. You saw it at the end. He got a little bit overzealous. Then even finally, one of his teammates came in and cleaned it up, but he wanted to move. He wanted to move out and kind of just do something with the weaponry. None of his teammates, unfortunately, were helping him out, so that comes down to a team failure, in my opinion. someone who's not failing this time round, hopefully.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I was about to say
Is that
something, but yeah, I'll shut up now.
Oh, there's a big play from Shady on the other side. Those rockets seem to be cursed, by the way. We saw one kill picked up from Zer with that weapon, but everyone who seems to be picking up those rockets are going down shortly afterwards. So we'll stay on the side of Capital Punishment. They're the ones who won the last game, yet to score a point so far here on Eden. 25 seconds until the next big swing on this map. At that 10-minute mark, 8-minute mark, 6-minute mark, all the even minutes, the rockets and the overshield come up, completely changes the landscape of the Eden stronghold. So watch out for that in around 15 seconds time. Teams need to be controlling this area for the camouflage, but also prioritizing that overshield and rocket launcher. Like I said before, the camo is the counter to the overshield, but you want OS and rockets to start putting slays on the board so you can go for the objective.
Classic Warlord staying alive. Fantastic plays from him, spinning around on a pinhead, down bottom mid. He's going to go for the one-on-one with Buck 20. No one's there to help him out whatsoever. He'll carry on grenading in a hope that no one goes for the OS, but unfortunately they do. And this time round, it's going to be Rockets and OS. They fall into the hands of Endpoint across two different players. Unfortunately, someone's there on blue, flat. Warlord should easily get this kill.
Yeah, just what are these players doing with this rocket launcher, man? Relax. Why are you trying to go into an open area with a rocket launcher out? Like, what kind of play is that? Look, now Shady's got him and he's putting him to work. I mean, it's
rockets.
It's questionable. It's so questionable. When you're running into blue, you know there's going to be a player up there on blue platform if they're trying to control that area. Even if they're spawning up there, they're going to be looking into blue. You can't have your rocket launcher out. That is a very low percentage rocket, and you need to start using that a little bit more effectively, in my opinion, if you're going to start taking over this game.
Keep on going through these players. It's all a little bit messy at the moment, as you can see on screen. The stick will come out and it'll do the damage. 2 players fall over on Capital Punishment. Endpoint, they'll try and move in this one and really get some time here. They need to get Catwalk. Someone's in there as well. Will they get a stop? They need to get a body in it ASAP, which they do. This will be a big play if there's 2 plays. Yes, there is indeed. Morgan comes in with the Fist of God, gives him a left, right, and a good night. And now they have 2 stronghold. The time will keep on ticking 1 point at a time. They really want to push Triple A. If they want to put the pressure back onto Capital Punishment, they just need to go for the throat, go for the jugular, get that triple cap and really apply the pressure. But unfortunately, as I'm saying that, Harry, it's Capital Punishment who do exactly that.
Slays here, doubly important for Endpoint because they are under the stranglehold of a triple cap, but also in 10 seconds, it's the even minute time, which means rockets and power-ups come up as well. So Slays here, very important for Endpoint. They lose the first one, Rogue will take that one, but Morga now needs to help his teammate. That's Septic in the turbine. He has a perfect flank on 2 players. Get these 2 kills, Morga, and then grab the rockets. You'll be back in the game, no problem.
Thought they were going to be a bit of a accidental ninja.
Almost. Injured himself, that's what we call it.
Congratulations, you played yourself. Rockets and OS. Hit markers, no kill. You're going to be landing every single rocket for rocket, kill for kill. Make these count, please. Don't die. Picks up a double. 57. Finding 2. Now he can make his way to Catwalk, transition round. We'll get the reload, thankfully, but look at that very sneaky Beaver just sitting there. Second rocket comes in, finds a target, pushes him back. 1, 2, 3. Last person alive is other in Blue Bend. They need to push him. Look at Catwalk. It's been transition round. They're throwing every single body into this one, but in doing so, they flooded down into a tight corridor. The grenades come in thick and fast, and unfortunately, it meant the end of their life. So, Blue Bend will carry on in the hands of Capital Punishment, and now they're going to work their way around, transition, rotate, and move into Nest. But 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all dead.
Yikes. I mean, it was a great defensive play there from Capital Punishment, preventing the triple cap happening, thanks to the great rocket use, by the way, from Buck 20. So much better than we saw on the Capital Punishment side. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the damage that that does on the landscape of the map. Look now, a triple cap in favor of Endpoint. Fair enough, they've allowed Blue Bend to go into the favor of the other enemy team, but look at this, they can play retake if they get these slays, which they do not. So now they're going to play a little bit more passive, but yeah, I mean, it's come around very quickly, but in 25 seconds, we're going to play the whole Rockets and Power-Ups game again. So it's very quickly this game type can flip on a pinhead here on Eden Stronghold. Every 2 minutes, man, it feels like the map resets and something different can happen.
Come on, kill him. Kill him. There we go.
There you go. Hey, you got another one.
Takes a bit. He didn't even get the first, and his teammate had to help him out.
Proud of you.
Look at that
again.
Look at all these assists.
Why can't I hold all these assists? That's what Zer's saying right now.
I wish
Meme Lords in session.
He should have had a few more in the previous game. A little bit unfortunate. But Now they're starting to get a foothold on this map, Harry. Now they're starting to get some points. But once again, it's still, I've got to say, it's fairly scrappy. It's fairly slow. We've seen 2 triple caps, 2 full controls in effect, 1 from either team, but it wasn't for all that great of amount of time. So, oh, is that going to be the OS that's just been melted?
Yeah, OS melted. Shady grabbed the rockets, but as you can see now, as we saw on screen, the damage put down on the overshield player means he's a non-factor. I'm going to keep an eye on RPOV, see if I can find a camouflage player. Not sure if it's been picked up yet, and in fact it has by Buck20 from Endpoint. So Shady needs to watch his back right here. Buck20's objective, get the rockets out of the back pocket of Shady right here. Shady's objective, just stay alive. Do not turn these rockets over to the enemy team. But while all this is happening and they're focusing on not dying and making sure they're getting the rotations, they need slays because right now they're under a triple cap. And oh, that is a big turn on Shady. Rest in Pepsi. Rest in pepperonis.
Feels bad, man.
Feels so bad.
He just got wrecked.
That could be the game-winning play, in my opinion, because now, look, this triple cap still rolling, 91 to 45. Hard to see Endpoint barring a miraculous comeback. They've stopped the bleeding, but they need to get a stronghold. This next round of slays is key. Potential game-winning slays here for Endpoint.
That's a horrible little crouch he just did to him. Just ducked below the final bullet. Give him one to the face. Now, Septic's in a great position. Can he get a stop on Catwalk? He can certainly get some kills. Now, he might not be able to get a stop on it.
There's the slays.
Exactly. He's in a good position just to let his teammate dive on in, reclaim it. Fantastic play. Stand your ground. Why bother go YOLOing in? Why bother dying? He stayed alive. And by him staying alive, he's single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, it's a bit rough to say, but he has at least helped win the game for his team as Endpoint. They take game number 3, Eden Strongholds.
A much better use of the power weapons and power-ups, in my opinion, from Endpoint in that game. They realized how vital it was they used those to their advantage, and they did so perfectly. Another poor performance from one of the players, this time it's on the Capital Punishment side. We'll wait until the stats are shown on screen, and there they are. Just the 4 slays from Rolt and on Eden Strongholds game types especially. You cannot have a weak slaying performance on your team unless one of your teammates is picking up the slack. None of the teammates of Rock right there are able to do that, and a negative 11 is the result. 21 kills from Morgan, by the way. He's having a really good series.
He's playing well, isn't he?
Very good series.
And he played well at Wembley, to be fair. I mean, this is... I'm surprised he's not... Well, actually, during Pro League, he did move on to a different roster. You know, we saw the transition there. He did move off, and he did move on to a different roster. People are really starting to notice this young man's talent. But... in the bigger scheme of things, as we saw in one of the previous matches, when he did do a big number, you need all your teammates to do a big number because you can't single-handedly carry it. It's not matchmaking. You can't handle a team on your own in Halo 5, unfortunately.
Absolutely
it just doesn't happen.
No, and his teammates did a much better job that time round. He wasn't even, despite his massive amount of slays, the top damage dealer in the game, or in his team at least. It was Buck20 looking on the other side. Yeah, no one even coming close. He had 2.6 thousand damage, more than Morga, who had a handful of kills more than Buck20 himself. So yeah, you're right. You need your teammates to be supporting you, and a much better slaying performance from the rest of Endpoint slaying around Morga kind of culminated in a win for them on that one. And it was a much better performance than we saw on Plaza Slayer. They seem to be a little bit hesitant on that game type, much better on Eden Strongholds. Very, what's the word for this? They capitalized on their advantages very well. They were very efficient, and they got the job done on Eden.
Do you want an update?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I'll give you one then. XL have taken game number 1 versus Vex, and we were watching it. I just kept a little bit of a glimpse. I believe the score was 3-2 on Truth CTF. So...
capture the xylophone.
Yeah?
Yeah. Don't try and argue. I read dictionaries. I know what letters start with what words.
How fun is reading a dictionary?
Great. I like to stand on them, so they make me look a little bit taller.
You're an idiot.
What are you talking about?
You're an idiot.
Listen.
Don't woo him. It's not funny.
Come on. You've got to laugh at yourself, haven't you?
He's not that far away, believe me.
Thank you very much.
He is pretty close. He's just rather small.
I made this joke so much, like, oh, he's not far away. He's actually just very small. It's not funny, mate. It's not funny. I'm vertically challenged.
So we do have a bit of time to kill. Don't clap him, all right? Don't clap him.
It's great.
It just gives him more confidence, which we don't need up here on main stage.
I need all the confidence I can get, honestly. 5'9" and 3/4.
Game 4. What do you think?
after that game, if they play as well as they did, thank you very much, I think Endpoint take it. I think they definitely win this series on this next game mode. It's a massive momentum-based game type, Eden Strongholds. When you win it, you feel pretty good, especially when you are being coordinated and capitalize on grabbing those power weapons and power-ups. You feel good. You feel really strong as a unit. You are, setting up for those power-ups and power weapons and winning those key team fights. That's going to give you so much confidence going into the next game, which could potentially put the series to bed. On the Capital Punishment side, they made misplays across the board with all those things, and the next game type coming up is a capture the flag on Colosseum, which is all about the power weapons. So a much better return is going to be needed out of the Capital Punishment's power weapon control in this one if they are going to be taking this to a game 5.
Well, while we do get this next game underway, let's remind ourselves how we have landed here in game number 4. We have some highlights from the past 3 previous matches, because this series, honestly, it could go all the way. So, if you are just joining us, welcome along. This, of course, is the Halo Championship Series London event, live and kicking from the Gfinity here in London. Tell you what, it's a beautiful, beautiful arena.
It's all right.
It's all right?
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Needs some windows.
You are.
Needs to be a bit more spacious. Nah, it's pretty, innit? It's nice. It's got nice lights. I like it. Makes my skin look good.
You sure that isn't the...
The makeup. Yeah, it's the makeup. I know.
Nothing makes your face look good. Thanks. I'm in the same boat. Don't worry about it. As you can tell, we've got a little bit of time to
I know. I'm the one that's got to look at you.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not nice, is it?
No, it isn't. You're looking at me. It means I have to look at you.
Wow.
And that there is Shady missing a shot, unfortunately, which was pretty rough.
Yeah, it looks like in the background our game number 4 is underway, so hopefully we can cut to that fairly soon. But yeah, these were the highlights from that Plaza Slayer game.
But yep, we will be getting this underway as soon as possible, guys. Apologies for the delay. That's why we are just having a bit of a watch of some of these highlights. While the players do get into the lobby, we're going to make sure they're all happy. They're all ready to rock and roll.
It's a warm-up. My bad.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
you did throw me off.
Sorry.
It's all right. We forgive you. We
We're
know
on the map
we know what you're
they were
like.
pulling flags. They got to practice.
Look at you, questioning production.
Flag pulling. Nah, I was
What do you
just,
think you
I
are?
just saw the game going. People were pulling flags. It's like you don't pull flags in a warm-up. You just try and shoot people.
Cast 1 world championship and becomes a diva.
There's always a diva. The World Championships just kind of
Amplified that.
showed me to the world. We're all Wonder Boys now.
So, people in the chat, there's going to be a few different places you can watch, whether you're watching on Mixer or whether you're watching on Twitch. I want to know, who do you think is going to be winning this next matchup? Drop a 1 if you think it's going to be. Which team do you want it to be?
Endpoint.
Endpoint? Okay, then 2 for Capital Punishment. And all being well, if you feel like tweeting Tashi as well, not tweeting him, just in the Twitch chat, just at Halo, throw a Kappa face up there. I'm sure he will really, really appreciate it. It does annoy him, by the way, so if you ever want to do that during a broadcast,
emoji. Yeah.
just get people to spam emojis. It does.
Did you hear they removed the Kappa emoji recently?
There's going to be some sort of joking. I don't want to fall into the trap.
No, they removed it. Seriously, type Kappa in the chat. It's gone.
Need to test it though with the capital
Yeah.
K. I'm sure you
K.
do.
Yeah, lowercase doesn't work.
Let's
There's
remind
someone
ourselves
in there right
where
now.
we land
Kappa,
with the current
lowercase
series.
Kappa, lowercase Kappa, I'm really funny.
Map number 4, Colosseum CTF. Will we be seeing Capital Punishment sent home, or will we see this series go to a game number 5? And if we do, it will be landing on a Regret Team Slayer. And one team, well, they most certainly will be regretting it indeed. Colosseum CTF, Harry, we have said this is a staple map of Halo 5. Pretty much staple gameplay. You've got power weapons in play, you've got a rocket, you've got a sniper. It's a long-winded map. Give me your initial thoughts. How do you want to see people playing this one?
So my initial thoughts on this one, based on what we saw from Capital Punishment on Eden, they really weren't using the rockets effectively. You can't get away with that here on Colosseum. Fair enough, much more close quarters than Eden is. A lot of long-range rockets to be fired on Eden. Very tempting to do that, but on Colosseum, there's more guaranteed kills to be found. So if I'm Capital Punishment right here, if I'm Warlord on the boys, make sure you are grabbing that rocket and putting it to good use. It's actually Shabby from Capital Punishment who has grabbed that one. So first step of the process, but Jesus, what are these? What are these? Not good.
It's a very wobbly rocket. You can see in the kill feed, once again, it's going to be Morgan making moves. I believe that's 2 or 3 kills I've seen coming out of him now. Finally, third time lucky.
Nice.
He gets 1. You don't want to be doing that kind of job.
2.
Picks up a double, and it could be absolutely vital. He's just going to tag up there for the re, and of course it does come in the end. Meanwhile, Shady's over here on Royal 2. He's going to be watching his flag come back. Morgan goes for the back whack. He gets it as well. Does attempt the ninja. I have to at least commend him for giving it a go. Can Zer get this kill? No, that's rather unfortunate because that will be capital punishment, capitalizing on that misfire, and they go up 1-0.
It's funny what a set of rockets when you actually get kills with them does. I mean, fair enough, you missed the first 2, but then the second 2 were nothing but money.
No.
And Shady is hitting heads as well, but those 2 slays from Shabby really sparked the counter cap. Got to praise his teammates as well in a position to pull that flag as soon as those 2 slays and that return came in from Shabby, and he was the one in the end, I believe, to put in the flag capture for capital punishment, and that's what they needed in my opinion. When you're 2-1 down in the series, you're in a capture the flag in your next game, I mean, it's one you have to win, and if you get the first flag capture on the board, you feel so much better about yourself. But as I'm saying that, Septic, as the Rockets are coming up in 10 seconds, is pulling a flag, and this could really be where we see capital punishment
Shady.
kind of fall into a state of defibrillation right here, but it looks like at the moment Rolk is going for a elbow flank. I like this idea because he's going to force the spawns away from the rocket launcher that's coming up, but more importantly, he has to grab this flag and prevent it going in. It's Buck20 with the flag, and we're about to be all tied up.
See, it's really annoying because Shady did so much work there. He actually rotated straight off the respawn, went on the outskirts, comes in for another ground pound. That'll be 2 in a row if he gets it. Finishes it off for a second time round. Shady is doing all the work here over on Sniper, but unfortunately, none of his teammates were there to help capitalize and pull that flag back.
So you see that kill in the kill feed. Rogue took down Morgan. Morgan actually had that rocket launcher in his possession. I'm not sure if anyone's found it just yet. I don't think so. Rogue does have a sniper. Will stay on the point of view of Zer coming off the respawn because his base right now is being hounded by capital punishment players. Big 1v1 to win there versus Shady, but even though he wins it, the flag is still being pulled right here. Rolk has a snipe in his back pocket. He is being pressured, but that flag, unfortunately, has been stopped before it gets to that cover, and that's going to force Rolk now to move over to the flag, try and get a little bit further, but he goes down as well.
You know what, Harry? While capital punishment are moving forward and just coming off the respawn, let's jump on in with a listening. They do have the sniper. They do have the rockets. Let's see what they can do with these weapons.
Yeah, on me,
Jump across, Sid.
I'm pushing snipe, I'm pushing snipe.
I'm beyond weak still.
Top pyramid, on top pyramid.
SQ
Keep one shot, keep one shot. Alright, let's go, guys.
Yeah, one is around.
S3 as well, S3 as well. Red maze,
Sniper,
red maze.
guys, okay, man.
Red maze, guys, work together.
Last 2 are up basement.
Yeah, one is in catwalk.
Let's stay alive, don't run off flag.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're running bridge, they're running bridge.
Shady, stay alive over there, Shady.
No, they're running
Desperate.
I can't.
One's S2.
No, they're gonna double cap. Fuck. Top rocket, so slay.
Slay.
Alright, stop dying by yourselves, guys. Like, they got that.
It's weak.
What's that?
No,
Play rocks, guys, play rocks. There's a guy to be out. There's a guy to be out. Help Shady with rockets.
Top rocket.
A window. We need to help the snipe side.
One shot on maze.
Okay,
Red maze, 2 guys. I need
Play
help.
rocket, boys.
Dude, on our flag.
Red
Help me
maze.
off
I
flag.
got one. I'm
Help
looking.
me out.
I'm here.
Grass.
One shot off flag.
I got him. I have to kill that guy for
I have
sure.
rocket.
I got snipe.
Alright, we got rocks and snipe. Okay.
Can I get help with snipe?
Yeah, I mean.
I got one. Try to push snipe.
Another one in their window, guys. Rocks going grass,
Yeah, I play grass.
They're elbow. Just try to push up, guys.
Warlord with the sniper. Let's see what kind of damage he can do. We got 5 bullets remaining. 3 in the chamber, make that 2. 2 on the reload. 1 player below him, that's going to be Zer. 2 players will jump above him, finish off that kill. You can see the little golden arrow, the assist comes in. He is taken out. That's going to be rockets from Morga. Harry was speaking at how pivotal these rockets can be, and he's a man that can, because some of the weapons... That's going to be Rogue. I have to stop what I'm saying because that was an absolutely banging shot.
Really nice tight angled shot to be taken right there from Rock, but it doesn't really do much. Fair enough, you kill that player at top rockets, but what do you gain from that? Look at how passive he's playing, and that's going to allow Buck20 to push up and potentially grab that snipe. Luckily, his teammate will take down the player trying to be that player who pushes forward. That's going to be Buck20, but lovely snipe again from Shady, but all that's going to do is stop the guy pulling the flag. I mean, you need to use this a little bit more offensively. Fair enough. They have 6 minutes 50 left on the clock to grab at least a capture, but this is a very defensive sniping position. He's not really playing this as aggressive as I would like him to be. Now he's left his snipe, now's the time to push forward. I mean, you know, you really should be playing the same with a snipe, even if you don't have it, but this would be a big triple to get. Can he finish it off? And there it is, the triple, and he shoots the body. Not surprised, big triple, and that could really galvanize Capital Punishment right here. Let's see if they can push forward and start running this flag.
But they need to be aware they're going to be spawning. It's going to be Morga comes flying round onto bridge. Morga says no, not today, and as you can see it, 1, 2, 3 members of Capital Punishment, they hit the tarmac, and this is now going to allow Endpoint to move further, potentially even pull this one, which they actually haven't done yet. So the kills, they're actually there for both sides here. It's still a little bit off, but look, Buck 20 with the perfect, spins around, takes him down, and bags himself the fresh, clean rockets.
Yeah, all because he's playing the enemy team's elbow right there. Really well played. That's another Slade. Lovely back base rocket right there. 4 down. That is going to be game. There is no way they don't score this flag. It's Zer running it. He's probably one of the better objective players in the game right here. And I think Capital Punishment, no, there is no way. With Snipe in the hands of Endpoint as well as rockets, that's going to be GG.
Endpoint. They end the run of Capital Punishment. 3-1 is the final score in the series. They advance in the elimination bracket. Unfortunately, commiserations to CP. We have to say farewell to them as they exit the Gfinity Arena here for HCS London.
Kiss blown to the camera there from Morgan. I'm sure that one was meant for me, but yeah, a real treat of a Slade.